Hi there. Hi there. Right, okay. So here we are. I'd missed yesterday. It was a busy day, bank holiday Monday, and actually everything just slid. Right, I want your ears today because what I've been playing with, what I've been trying to get to the bottom of, is how to get the levels right between this and also the video, and so it's live as well. So I'm going to show you this screen. Here we go. This is where I pressed the wrong button, but no, there you go. So this is a different screen to one that we've seen before. And what I've done is I've incorporated a section from the screen that I look at on this side, which is actually got OBS, which is Open Broadcasting System software. Something like that. But it's a brilliant piece of software that enables you to really control and move around various bits of the screen and actually bring everything together. If you look down just below me, you've got a section called scenes, and each of those scenes are related to buttons that I press on here where I can jump between various different bits. So if I press the one that says full screen, you'll see that. Go back to there. Scene is that one, which is one that we're used to seeing all the time. This one is the one that I've shown you today, and you can see that there you've got Audio Vox, which is my voice, and then next to it we've got desktop audio, and that's where the music comes out. Now I need to just check. I'm pretty sure. No, I know it comes out. I've been playing with it earlier. That's the bit that sometimes I've forgotten. So when you've seen me sitting there talking and then suddenly said, let's have a listen to this, and there's been silence, that's because that little bit hasn't been triggered. The other little bit you'll see is I've got a little button here that makes this track go silent too. Look at this. You can see it goes red. Now, if I forget to ignite that, then I speak very quietly and I look as if I'm miming again. And, so this is how all the mistakes can happen. But anyway, let me get to the point of today. When I play music, you'll see that other track start to light up. And we'll just play the music that we've just heard, and you can see what happens. And you can see that actually what it's doing there is the recommendation is that it bounces around in the yellow region and doesn't go into the red. And what I've had to do in order to stop it going into the red is I've had to bring it down by 10 dB. Now, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. How does it sound to you? Does it sound too loud? Does it sound too quiet? Does it sound just about right? This sort of Goldilocks moment. And it'd be really good if you could type in which of those three it is. Could it be more? Could it be less? And now the reason I'm wanting to sort of try and investigate this is I've obviously got about 60, coming up to 90 pieces here. They're all roughly the same, but some are much louder than others. But with this, I don't want to be keeping moving that. I want it to all be roughly the same. They're all mastered to something, and I don't want to get too techy, but they should all be roughly the same volume for broadcasting, so you can listen to it all in the car, and that's what I'm aiming for. And I don't know if I've got it right. So let's have a listen to Epic Times. Now, this was a big piece the day before. Now, if you know anyone who does mastering, or is an audio engineer or a sound engineer, who would understand, or a broadcasting engineer, because I think it's a mixture of those sorts of skills that I'm trying to bring together. And of course, that's something I'm sort of wanting to learn about, because I've done the music mixing and mastering, and I can get that to a level. But when you put it in a completely different context, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to see if I'm sort of calling upon the internet to see if I can get some advice. But you can see with that, although that was bigger, had loads of instruments playing, it wasn't as loud as this. So there's a lot less instruments playing to it than this. Can you see that? That's the thing that I've been really struggling with and trying to, because really I want that one to sound massive, but for some reason it disappears. Somehow I'll get there. Another case in point, I didn't post yesterday, and so we've got two pieces to listen to. So yesterday I reintroduced an old tune from earlier in the month, and I called it Old Friend. So have a listen to this. That's interesting. So we've had a comment saying it sounds better with more instruments playing. Now, is that the volumes that sound better? Now I've got to wait 10 seconds before a response. Is it the volumes? Is it the levels that sound better, or does it just sound too loud with fewer instruments? And these are the questions that I'm trying to. Just going to pause. This is one of the really good things about doing this. Yep, right, okay. Now that's interesting. So that's answered one of my questions. So if we listen to today's, now the reason I wanted to do that, because when I was doing the video on Sunday, we had a discussion about, yeah, now I think I know exactly what you mean. So on Sunday, we were talking about introducing drums. Now today starts with a drum, which is loud. Have a listen. And that's probably the loudest piece out of all of them, purely because of that drum. But actually, there's not as many instruments playing, and realistically, there's a little percussion instrument that's actually drowning everything else, which wouldn't happen in real life. So how do I get around that? So let's just listen to those again. So we'll move up to the epic time. So this is full orchestra, 6 horns, everyone playing. Yeah, so how do those compare? I'm going there is a little delay, but it's interesting for you to be able to see the levels and the meters that I look at in this piece of software. And I know how I got there using the mastering software that I'm using as well. And I think because I'll post this video in some sort of techie areas as well to see what they think. So most of this music is actually set to K minus 14. So it's on the K scale. People will know what that means, and so hopefully the answers I'll get will make sense to me. Excellent. No, I think that's a really good. So one of the things, and they talk about with K scales, they talk about K minus 20 being orchestral, K minus 23 being for film and things, and actually K14 is for things like Spotify, and then you get and other. I think pop music sometimes 12. It's really crushed and loud, and it's designed to be so that you can hear it in a car and be heard with lots of things going on in the background. Whereas actually with orchestral, it needs to have that space, and I think that's probably what I need to sort of stick with that going forward. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, what I've done, if you look through the 8 years of doing this, so I've done over sort of 2,600 of them. The first few, probably the first couple of years, won't have had any. I won't have known anything about that whatsoever. Then gradually I got to know about it, and I was doing it all at minus 20 because it was orchestral. But then when I was listening to it in comparison to other posts and also mixed and mastered recordings that you hear, I was thinking actually mine are much too quiet, which is why I went for the minus 14, which brought it up. But it doesn't necessarily work when you've got differences in size of ensembles as well, and actually that's really exaggerated when you record just a single instrument and just set that for minus 14. It just sounds ridiculous. So I think you never know. From now on, you might hear a change, and I think it could possibly be for the better going forward as well. But it just means that I've now got to go through all 2,600 and make sure they're all at the right levels. But also, and the thing as well is trying to get it so that it's right for video. And I think video it's minus 23. We'll see. I'll find out, because actually I know how to do that going forward, and yeah, we'll see. So tomorrow when we do the video, I'll do it for different levels. We'll do 2 different versions of the same with the different K numbers, for want of a better phrase, and then we can hear the difference, and we'll be able to see the difference on there as well. So let's see what that sounds like going forward. Thank you very much for taking part in that experiment, and it'd be really good to see if this could be a watershed moment. And actually, you never know, it might all sound a lot better going forward. Thank you very much. And I think what we'll do, actually, I'll show you what I'm doing. So you can see on here we've got our scenes. We've got the blank, which is the one that you all see to start with. Then we've got the countdown. Then we've got the end. Then we've got me. Then we've got me down there and me there. And what I've got here is this as well. So you can, and ideally I should be able to jump, and I mustn't forget to put this on there. So yeah, there's a little insight, and you can see how it's amazing what you can do with this software going forward. And I've now got the cam link, which means I can connect the camera going forward, which should improve the quality of that, but also it'll mean that I'll have different angles, and it could get really complicated from then on, and that should be really good fun. Anyway, I better finish. Thank you very much for helping and for listening, and we'll see where this takes us tomorrow. Cheers.